Increasing the capital gains inclusion rate in Canada is going to be bad for the economy, and here's why.
Add it up.
Look, there's already a huge housing shortage in Canada, and there's no new immigrants coming to the country, so you can't blame it on immigrants anymore. The issue is that there's just not enough supply to meet the demand. So the government has two ways to do this. They can either kill demand or increase supply. It's not that easy to create supply. I mean, you can only build so many homes a year. The Canadian government has spent a lot of money to make sure that the economy doesn't fall into the pits. I think they've done a wonderful job doing so, but at what cost? So here's the issue. We're gonna have to make up that shortfall, that deficit spending somehow, which means that at some point, we're gonna have to tighten our belt, increase taxes, or just print more money and risk deflating the currency even more. So one of the greatest things about real estate is the tax benefits, and I always talk about that, but what does that mean? Well, if you think about it, if you sell your home, and let's just say you bought it for $1 million, but you're selling it for $1.5 million, and you're living in it as your primary residence, that $500,000 that you made would be completely tax-free as a principal gains exemptions. If you have it rented out, $250,000 of that, half of that, gets taxed and goes towards your income. And let's just assume that you're at the highest tax bracket. Let's just say 50% for ease of calculations. So out of that $500,000, only $125,000 or 25% would be taxed. The other $375,000 would be completely tax-free, and that's yours, that's your net. That's huge. I mean, it takes the average Canadian a lot of years to actually save up that or make that money tax-free. So I can see how people are just like, getting ready, just saying, let's get into that capital gains exemptions and try to get some of that money and, help us recover from the deficit that we had to incur just to make sure that everybody's okay. But I'm here to say that there's 3 reasons why that's a bad thing. First of all, we're going to have to recover from this economy through immigration. And people are gonna say, you know what? I'm not coming to Canada. They have these crazy tax policies, right? And taxes are too high and all that. So they might not even come to Canada. But if they do come to Canada, I doubt they're gonna go to these small towns because what's there? There's no jobs there, nobody's investing there, there's nothing out there, right? No offense to small towns, by the way. It's just gonna make these mega cities bigger and stronger if they remove the capital gains exemptions. I think it's just bad for the outskirts and smaller towns. The other thing is that it's not going to unlock any more inventory. In fact, I think it's gonna do the complete opposite. It's gonna shrink the amount of supply out there. People that are looking at downsize, empty nesters, they're not gonna move because why would they pay those capital gains? They're not ready to do that yet. They're just going to live in their house that's completely mortgage free and just not pay any taxes, right? Why would you? And I don't think any inventory is gonna be unlocked because of that. And the third thing is that many Canadians have banked on their house as a retirement plan. So if you think about their retirement dreams and all the money is in their house that's completely paid off, at some point they're gonna have to realize those gains. And if you're in that boat, you know what I'm talking about, right? You're looking to sell your place so you get your windfall of money tax-free, and there you go. You can rent for the rest of your life or downsize, move somewhere else, or just move to another country altogether. Well, what are they gonna do? What's their retirement plans gonna do? It's not fair to them to have to spend 25, 30 years, 40 years saving and paying off the mortgage, and then all of a sudden that rug just gets pulled out from underneath them. That's not fair either. You think they're gonna vote for the government that enacts this? I don't think so. Anyway, those are 3 reasons why removing the capital gains exemptions is a bad idea for real estate investment. The better way to do it is to maybe incentivize other kinds of investments or take tax from somewhere else. I just don't think capital gains from the primary residence or even real estate for that matter is a good idea. There was an article published by CIBC late last year, and they talked about only 10% of the population would be affected by this. For the government, it might be actually a lot less risky than creating something like the GST. If you're old enough to remember, GST was supposed to be temporary, just like the land transfer tax, the second land transfer tax in Toronto. Look how temporary that's been. Anyway, back in 1972, that's when the 50% capital gains exemptions came into place before it was completely tax-free. Then they dropped the inclusion of the capital gains taxes to 66% in 1988 into a high of 75% in the 90s. And then in 2000, it dropped twice, first to 66% and then to 50% where it stands today. I don't know. I think it's a bad idea. Hopefully it doesn't happen. That would kill all the demand out there and just shrink the supply as well too. So I think there's better avenues to do it to recover the money that we spent during the deficit and fix this housing crisis. It's a very tough problem and I don't know who has the answers. I don't have the answers, but this is not one of the answers.
And they shooting us with bullets that's rubber. We gotta be the keeper for our brother. How we supposed to come together? It's families that can't recover. Still in mourning while we gotta suffer. This the beginning till we see another.